Before we start this video, I would like to address the thumbnail that was used in the video. This is a Tenogen version of Oberon, called Coven Oberon, made by artist named Ernix. It was kind of sad that this did not make the next batch of Tenogen, as I thought it would be the most fitting time to have this skin in the game. I was hoping that you guys would help support the artist by recommending this Tenogen on Steam. I have posted the link to it in the video description below, and hopefully we can get this amazing skin for Oberon. By the way, this video is not sponsored or something. I just really love the skin, and it kind of gives me that vibes from a Leshen from The Witcher 3, and it would be epic to see this skin in Warframe. Okay, that's about it, and now let's proceed to the video. Alright, let's talk about Oberon's rework, because honestly, this one feels like DE finally gave him the polish he's been needing for years. If you've ever played Oberon, you know he's always been that jack-of-all-trades frame. Some support, some damage, a little survivability, but he never quite felt like the best at anything. With this rework, though, he's stepping more into his paladin identity, and the changes aren't about replacing his kit, but reinforcing it. Every ability is still here, just sharper, more reliable, and way more synergized with the rest of his kit. The first thing that jumps out is his new passive, Righteous Negation. Before, his passive was basically a throwaway. It helped pets survive a bit better, but let's be real, that wasn't game-changing. Now, picking up a health orb or universal orb gives Oberon and his allies a charge. That charge makes you flat-out invulnerable to the next incoming hit. You can stack up to 3 of these, and if you're down to your last one, you even get a little bonus invulnerability window after it pops. It's a powerful change, almost like carrying mini iron skins in your pocket. The only catch is it relies on orb pickups, so sometimes you won't have charges when you really need them. Still, in practice, this turns Oberon into a much tankier support than before, and it feels thematic, like his holy shield kicking in at just the right time. Smite, his first ability, got a massive glow-up. Instead of throwing out random homing projectiles, it now just hits harder and smarter. The target loses Overguard and armor first, then takes 35% of its current health as damage, capped at 75%. Enemies around the target take half of that damage, and everyone gets staggered, which makes finishers easier to pull off. It's straightforward, clean, and it feels impactful without all the visual clutter of flying orbs. Against Eximus or other priority targets, this is going to feel amazing, though I do wonder how it'll hold up in endless high-level content where enemy health pools get ridiculous. Hallowed Ground, his second ability, is where DE really smoothed out the rough edges. Instead of laying down those awkward rectangular patches, it's now a full circle with increased height. That means no more, "Why isn't this working on me? I'm right here" moments. You can only have 3 out at once now, but because they're bigger, that's a fair trade-off. The ability also guarantees radiation procs now, and it doubles the healing bonus allies get from renewal if they're standing on it. The best quality of life change, though? Nullifiers no longer delete your zones. They just suppress them while inside their bubble, which is a huge frustration lifted. This is one of those cases where DE clearly listened to years of feedback. Now, renewal is maybe the biggest winner of this rework. Before, it was a draining nightmare, scaling energy cost per ally, and it felt clunky to manage. Now it's a flat 3.5 energy per second, no matter how many teammates you're supporting. It also isn't tethered anymore, it just follows Oberon, covering allies within affinity range. Add to that a chunky armor buff. Oberon himself gets plus 50% armor, while allies get plus 100%. That's massive for tankier frames, and a nice boost for squishier ones too. The Phoenix Renewal Augment even got its cooldown reduced, so Oberon's clutch save from death mechanic is more reliable. All in all, this feels like a complete rework of how his healing role functions, and it's so much more user-friendly. Reckoning, Oberon's ultimate, also got some big adjustments. It only affects enemies in line of sight now, which means no more nuking through walls, but in exchange, it's gained a ton of utility. Enemies with radiation status take bonus damage per stack. Oberon gains up to 1,000 extra armor per cast, depending on how many enemies he hits, and any survivors lose 50% of their armor permanently. That's not just crowd control anymore. That's crowd control plus a group debuff plus a self buff all in one button. They also removed the blind effect, which honestly didn't really fit him, and they sped up the cast time so it feels snappier. With this change, Reckoning finally cements itself as a real finisher ability that ties together the rest of his kit. And let's not overlook his base stats. His armor got a huge bump. Regular Oberon now has 385 armor, up from 185, and Oberon Prime has 450, up from 240. That's a massive survivability increase on top of his new passive and Renewal's armor buff. Together, these changes make Oberon far less of a glass cannon and much more of a durable frontline support, which honestly feels right for his theme. The big takeaway here is that Oberon now plays as a complete package. Smite handles priority targets, Hallowed Ground locks down zones and spreads radiation, Renewal keeps everyone alive and armored, and Reckoning brings the hammer down while stripping armor and beefing Oberon up. He's no longer a jack-of-all-trades, master of none. He's a paladin through and through, blending support and offense seamlessly. Sure, there are still risks. His passive relies on orb drops, Smite may fall off at extreme levels, and his kit is a bit more complex with all the synergy, but overall, this is a huge step forward. Personally, I think this rework is going to make Oberon one of those frames people actually want to bring into higher-level missions, instead of a niche pick for Eidolons or casual play. It's the kind of update that makes you want to dust him off, throw on some Forma, and see just how far he can go. And honestly, that's exactly what a rework should do. Now, I would like to expand more on the Righteous Negation. I did say that it may become unreliable at some times, but this would not be the case if we throw in the Arcane Universal Fallout Arcane for the Warframe. Do remember that Universal Fallout will give us universal orbs that grants both energy and health. This is already great with Oberon right now, but it will be broken with the rework, since First Hallowed Ground is now more reliable. Basically, I could see in survival runs that universal orbs will be constant drop for this frame, and this will let us abuse the invulnerability passive of Oberon. You can say that he will be close to being immortal, but that's not all that Oberon can do with the rework. With the rework, Oberon will be the first Warframe that can strip the Overguard of Eximus units. This is how Smite should be, a devastating skill that can bonk enemies. I was hoping for a Paladin Hammer animation, but this would do, and I'm glad that Digital Extremes kept this ability and just made it stronger. Honestly, right now, I don't see any Helminth options for Oberon. This is just me, but I don't have something to replace with the rework. All his kit is really good, especially the Hallowed Ground changes. I really can't wait what else I can do when it comes to the damage side of Oberon. For now, I can see a huge potential for immortality with his kit, but I'm really curious on the damage scaling with his Revitalize abilities.